Red Bun means we're live, a casual take with your boy Stephen Pepper, here to give a take off my chest. So we have our first NBA head coaching firing. A little early in the season, the Sacramento Kings have parted ways with Mike Brown. And my takeaway from this move is this is just a classic NBA front office move, right? When the team's failing to meet expectations, instead of doing what they should do and fix the issues with the roster itself, hey, let's go fire the head coach because it's so easy to, even if he's a decent one. And I'm not up here saying that Mike Brown was doing an A++ job in Sacramento this season, because I do understand he had some rotational issues and he probably lost the locker room. But the Kings are 13-18 because they're not that good. They're just not. They're not much of a three-point shooting and defensive team. That's stuff that you need in 2024 NBA. And in part because, let's face it, they got two all-stars in Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox who aren't great at those things. So what did this historically garbage front office do this offseason to aid this team? They brought in another star, not a role player, another star, an old one, a matter of fact, who can't shoot, play defense, and is such a ball stopper, he ruins the flow of the offense that Mike Brown's been trying to build for the last 2 years. And you wonder why the team dynamic's off. And, but since in the NBA, it's so easy to tell the coach to adios, Mike Brown gone in 31 games. The same Mike Brown who, since we're technically looking at the date, still in 2024, just a calendar year ago, was the coach of the year for turning around a Sacramento Kings team that was an absolute dumpster fire. They call them the Sacramento Queens for a reason. I mean, this is one of the worst organizations in the NBA of my lifetime. And then all of a sudden, like the beam, strong culture, competitive in a tough West, they're the third seed, and they make their first playoff appearance in 17 years. Take it, the reigning champ Golden State Warriors to 7 games. And then the following year, 10 games above 500. Just missed the playoffs. But those are the two best seasons in the history of the Sacramento Kings, at least since I've been alive. I wasn't around for the C-Web days. And after just 31 games and a shaky start to the season, they tell Mike Brown, we're going in a different direction. But they didn't just part ways with Mike Brown. And this is just what pisses me off about the terrible, trash, classless organizations in sports. They let Mike Brown host a practice, go to media availability, and he was in his car on the way to the airport to travel to Are you joking? Are you joking? Because unless I am watching a different game, Mike Brown didn't foul Jaden Ivey on the second shot to lose to the Pistons. No, that was De'Aaron Fox. Mike Brown isn't inconsistently shooting threes and not playing defense. That's Keegan Murray and Kevin Huerter. Mike Brown isn't failing to protect the rim. That's Domantas Sabonis. Now, Mike Brown, again, I didn't think he's doing an A++ job in Sacramento, because I do understand his rotations, especially when it came to refusing to play Keon Ellis in many spots when he's the team's best perimeter defender and they're struggling to play defense. But if you're banking on one guy to save your defense and his name isn't Anthony Davis or Victor Wembanyama, your team isn't that good. Like, this Kings team is flawed. That's what that front office gave Mike Brown. A Kings team that has historically whiffed on many draft defending role players. And if you look at the Western Conference, only 8 teams make the playoffs. 10 get a crack at the play-in. And the Kings are 13-18 today. Rank your teams right now in the Western Conference in a vacuum. Take away the head coach, take away the record, take away the seeding. Just look at the teams. The Kings aren't even a top 8 team in the league. Hell, you can argue that they're not even a top 10 team in the West, given how good the Clippers and Spurs have been playing. So, I mean, was Mike Brown not doing the best of the job this season? Yes. But he gave the team their 2 best seasons of my lifetime. And you have this flawed roster here in just 31 games. When you gave him a contract extension in the offseason, you tell him adios is such a scapegoat panic move that we just see all the time in the NBA. And honestly, I don't know why I'm surprised. This is just so Sacramento Kings. I just think this was a terrible firing. That, yeah, Mike Brown was a problem, but he wasn't the problem. And man, but I appreciate everyone for tuning into this episode of A Casual Take. Follow my social medias to stay updated on all things related to the show. Until next time, see ya.